Hi, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, we're going to utilize the Skull of Scrolls to see which sign is up next. And we will scry for shapes and symbols. We'll add on oracle cards in the Shaman's Palm configuration. And as well, we have Ghost Tube here kicking for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Taurus, it looks like you are up next. If you'd like to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Taurians, you know the drill. I'm going to open up. You're welcome to join me, or you can fast forward through when you're ready. Closing the eyes, taking a nice big breath. Cleansing the palate of perception. Releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of Taurus. Taurians, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Inspired by the end of the year, the threshold of the end of the year. All right.
Caller.
Let's go. The caller of the calendar. You know the drill as well. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below, or you can keep to yourself alike. Oh, okay. So, really big horseshoes. Do you like playing horseshoes? But it's like luck. And these horseshoes, so like the shape of the horseshoe might be of significance to you, but also a magnet. And this, it's like I'm attracting things that I want to draw in. It's in my mindscape. Taurians, I feel like there's two. Okay, there's two aspects looking at two masks. So it's like, in a weird, well, it's a little bit spooky, but it's like you're here, so that's okay. It's like I've peeled off some sort of mask or face or just something along that lines, and I'm taking a look at it. This feels reflective, like looking in a mirror, or things I want to do, things I want to accomplish. But I feel like I'm taking a good hard look at myself. And then with these magnet / horseshoes, it's like because I really want to understand what it is that I am drawing closer to me. And like here's all the phrase, and I'm also seeing it like pond that might be a little bit frozen over, like an ice rink, and it doesn't have to be frozen, but I feel like I'm seeing it's this duality of sorts. It's like I don't want to be my own worst enemy, have a goal, and then I bring in this other mindset that kind of discourages the other one, but I'm saying it empowers it, or I don't know what it is, but there's two different ways I'm looking at things very specifically, but I'm taking a look at those. I hope that makes sense, because they're both attracting things in. It's like both mind thoughts or mindscapes are drawing things in. So I'm taking a good look at this. Maybe for whatever it is that you're considering creating, especially, closing out. And it's like after the whole year of the calendar year anyway, and taking a look at, okay, so that's an interesting way. It's like looking at your face, your features. It doesn't have to be features of the face, but just the features of the year.
Camera.
2023. And it's like I'm seeing palmistry lines of the face. And I'm not necessarily talking about wrinkles the way we would, think of them. It's more like wisdom and lines of like laugh lines. What made me laugh? What made me cry? What, hit that heart. And where it is that I want to go. Moving from this place of the present. Because I feel like there's a past. How recent or far, I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's something you're no longer using past places as a kickoff point, as a false present, and for here. Does that make sense? It's like I feel very much so here. And whatever has happened in the past, I feel like it's a little bit more remote in the past, but I'm no longer plopping that piece there for me to jump off it's here. Anyway, I'm going to stop trying to figure that out, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. And if it's not your sky story, thank you for holding space for others to receive. Thank you. There's something I'm releasing again, but I'm taking a look. It's like as I'm releasing it, and there's this kind of face
It's
figure
here.
looking back. It's like doing the backstroke while you're swimming. Something about like maybe you're not backtracking on what it is that you like backtracking. I don't think you're doing that. But if you find wisdom in recalling like through a little Rolodex of your memories, because you're like, I remember I learned that, or oh, that's why I remember reading that book or seeing that sign, because it's like it gives me direction. That's how I'm going to use the word fickle, but I don't mean it in a fickle way. I mean it in like a very specific way. Like I'm not sending my whole self back there to relive some sort of memory or whatnot. It's like, oh, I'm going back, picking out the piece, and it's like throwing it to the present self, which is
Dozens.
the future. Anyway, you get the gist. That's what it's making me feel like. There's I'm going to call it like a cauldron. And there is a wizard in there. See, and this is like that whole magician-y vibe thing I got going on here. Because it's like something about maybe time travel, magnetizing things. In this reflective pond, because I feel like I want to be ice skating upon it in one way, shape, or form. Or swimming, but I'm like sliding. I feel like an ease. I'm not slipping. I'm sliding. It's like I've taken some runs and it feels very, very fun. But this wizard in here, this wizard or witch, and that's
Consciousness.
obviously just a symbol of like an archetype. Yeah, Hunter of Vision has come through, of an archetype that's moving forward, going through all this, taking a look at even other people. Something about face value. I don't know what that means, in what context, but maybe going deeper than face value of someone, maybe there's new contracts coming up, new relationships or resonances or friendships, and it's like, take it at face value. Like on one hand, it kind of feels like, whatever, it's cool. And then on the other hand, it's like, can we peel this off and take a closer look? So maybe that's just something moving forward, because I feel like you're clarifying which pond of perspective you're going to be skating on. In many regards.
What is your name?
My name is Stephanie. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, let's keep going to our hands. I want to bring up in your cave of ice is the Hunter of Vision. And this is what I feel like, that magician vibe, or the wizard, magician, witch in the cauldron. I'm actually cultivating that. I'm going to take a moment to feel that, because I'm in it. I'm in like the soup of sorts of this, of what I'm conjuring, what I'm creating in this symbolic cauldron. Do you know what it's like? It's like being in okay, so it's like being in a swimming pool, treading water, but I don't actually need to tread water. I can touch the bottom and stand up.
Wayne.
And I know that, because I've grown taller. I wish I was a little bit taller. I have grown taller. It's like, oh, now I can touch the ground. Like there's some sort of growth in that. In whatever area, regards it might be. It's like now you can touch the bottom, you can stand up, and it's like you have a lot of room to breathe. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's wander into your cave of winds. And I'm drawing my attention down here, because it's reminding me of one of those saws where it's like two people on either side. This could be a friendship, relationship, or again, archetypes within the self. I am holding something taut for this to happen. It's not The way I'm feeling it, it's not like it's balancing on
Garden.
some fine line. Shaman of Courage. Okay. These characters have very, very tall hats. Big brains, big brawn. You could have two males in spirit that are significant to you, specifically that are helping you achieve whatever it is that you wish to achieve, because they're honoring your courage. And this is in your cave of winds. It's like talking to myself about courage. You already have the courage, but every so often maybe you take liquid courage from this cauldron, like that soup or that elixir, and you're like, oh, I'm going to be stepping into a new job. I'm going to be stepping into this new relationship. You're like, I don't know. So you take a little bit of this liquid courage. I'm not talking about alcohol or spirits or anything like that. It's like your mojo.
Thirst.
That's what it makes me feel like your mojo. Okay, so you might have two prominent males supporting you in this while you're in this liminal space of earth existence. Or if you find yourself in liminal landscapes of creation, it's like it's okay. But they're also wizards. I can't get around this.
Stupid.
I can't, and that's so not a nice word. It's so not a nice word. But these wizards are holding, they're waiting for your instruction. Thank you. They are waiting for your instruction. Shaman of Tradition is in your cave of hearth fires. And if you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe. I do appreciate you, and you warm my haunted heart. So when I'm coming into your Shaman of Tradition in your cave of hearth fires, when you give the signal, the call
Here.
of the way things have been done before, these wizards have candles, and they, upon your signal, they will start to burn this rope of this landscape. And that's when you know, like, the next level. That's how I hear it, next level. Because there's blatantly something coming out of this. It's like when this wizard in here, in this cauldron, it's like, okay, the work's been done, left and right, shadow, shine, whatever the case may be. But they are other wizards with these candles. It's like upon your signal, it's like seeing one of those things by almost like dominoes, but not dominoes. Like by lighting the candle, something else happens. It burns the rope. It does this. The flag goes up, kind of like Survivor, and you win. You win. That's what it's making me feel like. And then from there, this wizard is the shine, is now the flame of sorts that is within this creature. It's bigger now. It's bigger. And now I'm like an antennae. I might even be able to see differently. What is this? I can see differently. Spirit of Challenge is in your Cave of Rivers, and Spirit of Wisdom. Okay. So Spirit of Challenge coming through in your Cave of Rivers is how you're feeling. It's like you're ready for the cauldron challenge, whatever cauldron might mean to you, of course. But then in your Cave of Earth, you have Spirit of Wisdom. See, this is what it becomes bigger, and there's like an owl. It grows bigger. From this to this. Bigger. The challenge that you, in whatever context you are willing to accept, and you do so wisely, there is something about tradition specifically.
17.
maybe 17 days, weeks, hours, maybe it's been a 17. Okay, even if it's in like a 17-year cycle, it's like I'm no longer placing that piece, like that game piece of me back there. It's here. There's something about tradition that I'm honoring and I'm calling in. Again, I'm back with all these wizards that are awaiting your word. I'm going to flip this another time, Taurians, but we are going to add on a superhero card. So this is very fun. We'll add on a superhero card and see what your superhero vibe is. I also want to see if there's anything else coming through before I move on to this. You have the ability, Taurians, it feels like you have this blatant ability to like if imagine like a big like pterodactyl or something was walking, or even like maybe like a dragon, but at the ends of their wings there's like these points so they can also like walk with their wings, and they do like this. Oops, sorry. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing this. And I'm not sure. It feels just like a presence, but it's like, imagine
What do I do?
take like I'm not sure what to do, but I'm going to imagine like a dragon archetype or a pterodactyl. And to the best of my ability, imagine it more owl-like, a fire owl-like. Fire specifically, we're here for Taurians. So when this cauldron, this rope, these other wizards burn the candle, something happens, the cauldron turns and spills, that water does something, then like this thing starts, this big dragon owl thing comes out, but it has horseshoes like a horse. There's some sort of freedom for me to slide around on this pond of perspective and perception. Oh, and then I can release something else. And I don't know what that is. Okay, you actually have two superheroes. Morbius and I can't even read this. Psylocke? I'll bring these up for you. If you want to take those in. You have like a pair. See, we've been talking about like the two. Maybe it is the masculine and feminine. Maybe it's within the self. Maybe it's in a relationship with another person, friendship. Whatever the case is, it's like those two horseshoes, the two pawns, the other two wizards, but then you're the third wizard. Okay, let me read what these are. Okay, so Morbius. Once a Nobel Prize winning once a Nobel Prize winning biologist, Dr. Michael Morbius unintentionally inflicted a terrible disease on himself, one which has made him a living vampire. Cursed to drink the blood of other people to survive, Morbius searches for a cure so he can re-enter the world of light. But until that time, he has decided to use his fiendish powers to fight evil by slacking his inhuman thirst with the blood of criminals. And then we have here Psylocke, originally a fighting partner of her twin brother, the superhero Captain Britain. Psylocke used her telepathic powers to combat villainy in Great Britain. Abducted by ninja warriors, she was retained in the martial arts, retrained in the martial arts. Her mind was altered, and she was mystically changed into an Asian woman. Escaping their clutches, Psylocke joined the X-Men, with whom she now uses her already expansive mental powers, as well as the psychic blade she projects from her right hand to overpower all enemies of man and mutant kind. Taurus. So when I wander into the Morbius one, and of course you are free to, of course, follow your own intuition versus my yammerings. But like this vampiric thing, it's almost like, again, what happened to me in the past when I was changed. Maybe something had changed in your life. Maybe changed the way you eat. You feed the self. feel invigoration. And perhaps
Man.
there was like an overpowering of that. And it's like, I'm not going to consume things that are detrimental to me. And it's almost like really understanding the way karma is entangled, and you're like untangling yourself, or you have untangled yourself.
More.
And if you have like a trait or something along that lines, and it's always been felt like it's a negative attribute, there's something that you've been able to like, you can now use it to your advantage. Like, you can just use it to your advantage. Like, the three wizards have figured this out. And you're like, oh, I've been beating myself up because I'm not great
It's
at
what
this.
I want.
Or, I wish I was a little bit taller. Whatever the case is, you understand the benefits of that. And you're like, oh, I can just look at it from this direct. Again, there's this whole two perspective thing. And then when coming into Psylocke, see, there's something about expansive mental powers happening in these two pawns, in these two people or two wizards back and forth for the one cauldron or the one wizard coming through. Also, telepathy might be a really big thing right now between you and whatever realm you're working with of reality. Because I feel like in this Rolodex, and sorry if I'm all over the place, but sorry, not sorry. It's like when I go back, right, Rolodexing versus plopping myself in there fully to be immersive in some reflection that I know is only a reflection of what I want to remember or what I want to heighten, and that's going to serve me somehow, which is okay. But I go back and I'm like, oh, like telepathy, I can just move it through. I can move it through. And change it. But not change it back there. I change it here. It's the same
Pilot.
thing as the other thing. It's like your own pilot of perception. You can go back, pick it up. You know you're not
Larry.
going to make the change there. You're making the change here. And the metamorphosis of what you magnetize towards you creates the next layer, the next level. This is all very next level, Taurians. I hope this has served in some way, shape, or form. I feel like you've had some sort of transmission of what runs through your veins. And it's high quality, high vigor. You have this vision that's unlocking, and in your cave of ice that is de-thawing. It's de-thawing, and it's kind of awesome. Taurians, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for being here, for being my muse. And until next time, thank you for scrying with me. Bye. Anything else to say, Ghostbox, Ghost Tube? Closing over time, story.